Here we go. We're good now.
Restart?
No, we're good.
Technical difficulties are in the air today at Reaper as we have recombobulated our studio. So if there's weirdness that happens during this stream that is not related to dragons or to me, we can blame Twitch or the internet, or both. Anyway, we are back to painting that awesome dragons fighting scene, Dance of Death by Julie Guthrie. Let's get to it.
What are we giving away?
Oh, what are we giving away? Oh, D. Clearman says he doesn't even have video.
You may have to refresh the stream.
Oh, might have to refresh your stream, David.
That's on Twitch's end.
Oh, okay. It's a Twitch end?
Yes.
A Twitch end. Oh, and it's an exciting giveaway day, guys, because we've decided to be a little crazy. We've decided that for every 25 people we get viewing this, we will give away a Dance of Death, the unpainted model kit. So essentially, if we get 25 people, we give away one. If we get 50, we give away two. We've been hitting around 75, so we could give away 3. But if each one of you texts one of your friends who might be interested and tells them to tune in, we could give away 4 if we hit 100. So.
Now we'll roll the intro.
Now roll the intro. Yes. There we go. All right, so yay, we're back with dragons. So the first thing, is everybody seeing it now? Hi, Roland. Welcome. This is the first time you see the ToolBox stream. A lot of dragon painting. It's Wings Day, guys. It's just like Legs Day. You never want to skip Wings Day. So I've decided that I am really, really sick of painting these wings, and I'm going to try to get them done fast, which it will involve a lot of wet blending and then a lot of fine tuning to make them look like they're not just wet blending. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, Poleth, very good. Thank you. Roland Poleth there has it pretty much. I paint and I answer questions. Pretty much questions about anything that I have permission to answer. So you could ask me general Reaper questions and I would answer those as best I could. I might make stuff up like Ed does, but you know, you're used to it, right? So I look like a bad dub because the sync is off.
Yeah, that's on Twitch's end. It should eventually fix itself.
Okay, also on Twitch's end. Yay. Yeah. All right.
It should eventually fix itself.
First of all, I think we need to go to WingCam, but I want to show you guys a special thing first. So go ahead and go to WingCam, Justin, if you would. All right, so we're on WingCam. Remember, we have our wings. We kind of set up our wing. We've mostly done this one, but I want to add some scratches and detailing to these other wing membranes, and then I want to actually paint the scales today. So the one thing I want to show you guys is a special thing, and people on my Patreon got to see a photo of it yesterday because I was painting it. Kind of doing the staff painter thing again for a little period of time here at Reaper. I have a Bones 5 dragon, which some of you may have seen at ReaperCon. I'm bringing him here because he's another example of how you can use colors other than black to paint a black dragon. So if you look at his head here, you can see that overall he still looks very dark, and the only parts that I've got close to finished are the head there and the frill up there. I was testing colors. So when he's done, I expect him to still look mostly black, but what I'm using is more of my swamp green, which we are actually using for our existing dragon. And I decided that I was kind of wondering what it would look like highlighted with a really bright blue. So I used tropical blue to set up some of the highlights on top of the head. Then we're using faded khaki, which is part of the uniform brown and green ochre triad to do the frill. And we're working pretty much with mixes of all those colors. And I've got sunrise orange on the eye right now, which kind of looks a little glowy if we could get closer. But anyway, so this is all a limited palette dragon. I'm pretty much painting it with just 6 colors and mixes of those colors. So you can see like the swamp green plus the blue kind of leaking in at the bottom of the frill up here. I'm working those colors in so that it all kind of goes together. And down here on the cheek, we're mostly working with swamp green with some faded khaki and white. And then the teeth are done in faded khaki and white, and you know, we've got various bits of blue and turquoise around the muzzle. So anyway, that's one of our Bones 5 Kickstarter dragons that will be up when Bones 5 goes live on October 1st. And I just wanted to show you guys, because again, you don't have to use black to paint a black dragon, as long as you keep most of it black. So as this guy goes on, I may have to tune him and shrink his highlights a little bit to make sure that he still carries as a black dragon. All right, that's enough of me babbling. There's lots of freeze. Take the wings off Rotharos. You put them together and you're having trouble painting around the wings. We can go back to wing cam, Justin. I don't need to talk. They're used to seeing my face. They don't need to see it more, right? We want to see wings. We want to see, actually, we want to see some scratches and stuff on wings. So let's do some of that. And if you remember, I was using 9232 Bright Skin Shadow for some of those fleshy scritches and scars on the wing. And then we were mixing it a little bit with one of our reds. What was I using? Clear red, of course, to do things like the fresher claw marks there. So I'm going to put some scars and things on this side of the wing and answer you guys' questions. Oh, we got a sub. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, yeah, and do remember to do your hashtag free if you want to be entered in for a Dance of Death. I assume we're going to give away at least one. And then we're going to see what target we get for viewers and see how much more generous we can be.
We're up to one currently.
We're up to one Dance of Death. How many people do we need to get up to 2 Dances of Death, Justin?
We need 25 more. And actually, as far as viewers, you know what? I'll throw in a bonus here. If, for whatever reason, because it is September, I don't know if people know that or not,
yeah,
which is where subs are half off. I think it's your Twitch Prime that's half off. I don't know all the details, but bunch of fun stuff. I do know that they are half off to some degree.
It's on sale.
It's on sale. The subs are on sale. If we manage to get 10 subs in this stream, I'm going to double the number of these that we give away.
Ooh.
Double.
Wow.
So if we get up to 3 or 4, we'll now give away 8.
Yeah, woof. Okay, so we need subs, and we have 1 sub.
We have 1 sub currently.
All right. So we're off to a great start considering we just started this. So what I'm using, guys, is a really narrow, thin brush, and I'm thinning my paint. For scars, you really want a little bit thin, right? Because it needs to come off the brush. Really nice thin marks. You can't really see them because we're a little far out. Whoa, Jacob. He's like, yep, you're giving away double Dances of Death.
Okay.
Well done.
Well, all right.
Well done.
That
They
works
called
too,
you on
Jacob.
it, Justin. They called you on it.
You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna do more than double it. I'll add a bunch to
Plus,
it.
you'll add +1?
Yeah,
At least +1?
something. I don't know. I did not expect that.
Yes. Somebody is very generous. Jacob is very generous. So
Thank you very much, Jacob.
yes, thank you, Jacob. And everybody who he gifted subs to should say thank you, too.
He's actually one of our sponsees, by the way.
Oh, really?
We host him regularly. Yeah, he paints too.
Oh,
So.
awesome. Thank you, everybody. Yay! All right, so thin brush, thinner paint, but you don't want this paint to be too thin because we don't want it transparent, right? We want it to actually show our little scratches and stuff here. So we're going to be using it. We want our brush to essentially still come to a really sharp tip. Let's see if I can hold it up and have you guys see. Yeah, see how sharp that tip is? Because you want to be able to make these tiny little lines. But you need to thin your paint a little bit so that it comes off the brush well, but leave it thick enough that the lines are still clear, and that's the challenge. So yay everybody for all the thank yous that are going to Jacob. Well-deserved thank yous. So I want to kind of randomly do, and I want to kind of keep these, oh, my brush is drying out. This is what happens when your paint is a little bit thick in your brush, by the way, is that while you sit and talk to your paintees, your streamees, you can lose. And it's okay if you kind of break up or even stipple these scar lines, because obviously claws could snag and then recatch on the skin of the wing. So you don't have to be like, don't even want to paint real solid lines. I've got a break in this one. It's a little hard to see. I don't know if we could get a little closer to the wing. Could we, Justin? Or is that a not in the middle of stream kind of adjustment?
We could do it if people really wanted to see it. It just might be a little jarring for people.
I think they can see it okay. So like I thickened one end of this scratch, guys, so because that's where the claw would have dug in, and then as it pulls along the wing, it would narrow the tear probably. So that's why I'm thinking about, you know, as far as shapes go for how you're making scars. And it can be coming from any angle that you think the dragon might be attacked from, although obviously the outer wing might have less scratches, because if the dragons are fighting, you know, close up to each other, then anything far away from the body isn't going to be as much of a target. So that's the way I'm thinking anyway. I try to like use at least some common sense as far as, you know, like environmental effects and scars. Oh, more subs. Wow.
It's gonna keep going.
Well, you shouldn't have challenged them, Justin. You threw down your gauntlet, and little did you know.
I did not expect that.
Yeah,
sort of,
Justin's like the guy who thinks nobody is listening in the middle of, the dueling hall when he just says, I'm just going to put this right here. And then, he ends up like trashed in a corner because, everybody took him up on it.
completely true.
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see this. So I'm going to do a couple, and you don't want them all going the same direction. So you want them like coming from several different attacks. And you also want some fresher scars to show up a little bit more pink. I hope you have enough Dances of Death. I guess we'll find out, right?
Yes, we are.
How many people are we up to in stream?
We're at 40 currently.
All right, 10 more guys to get an extra Dance of Death into the multiplier. Make Justin regret ever coming up with this idea. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you, Twitch chat. Faith. I think, let's see. I think I want this scar to be fresher. So essentially, I'm making a glaze of clear red. So it's really thin. See that? But it's still strong enough to tint what's under it. That's key. And I'm going to kind of glaze that. Just brush it right over the top of this scar to make it more pink. Boop. And I can even use my finger to kind of smudge off the extra a little bit. And it'll essentially make it look a little bit pinker. There we go. So you can maybe see that one's a little darker than that one. And that one is just going to put in some other... Yes, it's dragons. It's Wings Day. Hi, Greek Nikos. It is Wings Day. We are going to try to finish at least one wing, if not 2 wings. How do you sub? Condolo, I think you go to Twitch and you look up at the upper right-hand corner.
Upper right corner,
and there should be a subscribe button. And if you click on the little down arrow, if you're already a Amazon Prime member, you actually get a free sub per month. And so you can actually take advantage of that and not even pay any money. Woohoo! Yep, there's a Twitch Prime sub. Lucadio. Thank you, Lucadio. Sweet. Yes, and be sure to free. If you are new here, be sure to hashtag free to get entered for a Dance of Death. It seems we are giving out many of them.
Yes, we are.
Does this mean we have to also increase the number of Drow Nipple Pinks we're giving out? Because I thought we were giving one out with every Dance of Death.
Yes, we are. Every Dance of Death comes with as long as
supplies last.
Yeah, you can supply that.
I have, after ReaperCon, I think I had about 40 left, so I'm just adding more random scars. Now I'm just adding single tears also, guys. Yay for watching from work. I mean, boo. I don't want your job to call me up and say, what are you doing? I think I'm going to try to add a little bit more pink to some of the thicker ends of some of these scars too, to suggest that maybe it's taking longer to heal where it's a thicker scratch. And maybe we'll try, well, we got to do some thinner, a little more transparent. Oh, more drown. You still aren't sick of Drow Nipple Pink? Seriously?
Also,
how I had paint left over after ReaperCon? Yes, Norwegian Gadget Man. I actually made 450 bottles of Drow Nipple Pink this year, so I did walk out of ReaperCon with 40 bottles.
Candelo was asking about subbing on the iPhone app, and I actually don't know how to do it on the actual app itself.
Yeah, I'm not I have an iPhone, and I have my app. 1 second. I might be able to answer this question. Can I tune into myself? No, but I can tune into something else. Hold on. Let's see. Twitch app. Let me see if I can answer this question very quickly. Let's see. Alerts, discover, browse. If I go to there, if I go to heart. Whoa. That was very silly. Wow, that's a good question. How do you sub on the Twitch app? Because it is really annoying.
I'll do some research and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, how about you Google it?
Because
I don't mind playing the trailer for WoW Classic, but
lots of people actually ask that question. That's not just Candelo.
About WoW Classic.
WoW Classic's great, but about subbing on the phone, because I guess a lot of people watch from the app. So
yes, there were not enough people asking about Drow Nipples, guys, and as you say, I think some of them got confused with me being out of ribbons, meaning me being out of paint. However, it was super fun. Yes, Jazion, there you are. Yay! So we even have somebody from Singapore on right now. So yay for this particular time slot. We can acquire people from all over the globe. So yeah, the most fun of having many drown nipple pinks left toward the end of the con, by the way, is when somebody comes up and asks you about drown nipples, and you say, "Did you know they come in pairs?" And then you hand them two, and they're thrilled. First step, lose the iPhone. No, Silverthorn, I like my iPhone. I'm not going to lose it. Not intentionally, anyway. I'm doing more scars today. Scars on wings. Little crisscrossing scars down here. There we go. I don't want to go too many scars here. Thinking about maybe putting some discoloration on the wing because breath weapons and stuff. So let's see. I think if I want that, I want to mix my black with my, what are we using? Stained ivory to make kind of a discolored grayish thing. And then I think I want to maybe put some, just stipple it. Probably not the brush for it. But essentially I want to create a blotchy effect, kind of like I got over here. I'm going to switch to a bigger brush for this, I think, but I'll try to finish this pattern before I do it. But little blotches and irregularities can help to vary up a wing and suggest past damage. There we go. That's actually not bad.
Sigwolf. Sigwolf figured it out.
Silverwolf figured it out.
No,
Yay!
Sigwolf.
Sigwolf. Yay! Doesn't support subbing. You have to use the webpage. Well, that's really annoying.
That is, I agree.
Like Twitch, what the heck? Do you really want people to use you?
Oh, we just hit 50. Hey,
We just hit 50.
We just
Woohoo!
hit 50.
That means more dances of death. Dances of death. Dances of death.
And actually, what I'm thinking here too is
Yeah?
since Jacob went up and beyond of
Yes.
what I put out there, I think I'm going to add some paint to each one of those giveaways as well.
Oh my gosh, you're going to make Internet's head pop off.
So we're going to
Collectively.
double the number we get to, and I'll plus one just to make it fun. And I think we're going to add some paints to each giveaway.
Yay!
I will let that be Anne's choice since she's the master.
Oh, cool. Hey, so I'm switching brushes, guys, to a big old flat, which is kind of damaged and frayed at the edges. And what this is good for is making randomized patterns, kind of like the stuff I was just doing up here with stippling, except that I only have to use like my big flat brush to, and I can cover a much larger surface. So now I'm doing some mixing my bright skin shadow with black to kind of make it's still a grayish thing, but it's a little bit different. And I put a little bit of pattern there. And I think I want to put a little bit up here to suggest past damage.
Oh, how are you, Mocha?
Mocha.
Mocha's in here.
Mocha's here. Doo-doo-doo. Silverthorn with the rainbow and mercy wings, Mama-san zombie. Justin's breaking everybody's mind, Sigwolf, but what I want to see is when he tells Internet that he has to ship all this stuff. I want to see like the torches and rakes come out at that point.
Hey, they should be used to it at this point. I would hope. I would hope.
Especially with all of the promotions coming up. Are you all ready for ghoulie bags in October?
Oh, yeah.
That's coming.
You know what? There's a good chance we give away some of those as well on the show.
Since, yep. So if you need even more candy or an excuse to eat candy, you know that Reaper employees love ghoulie bags time because that means that there is candy available for us to steal. Borrow.
The entire company eats candy for an entire month long.
Yeah,
basically.
it's terrible, guys. Like I actually exercised willpower to not go get a Tootsie Roll this morning. Seriously. So I'm going to just use my big old fat brush to stipple that damage on here and there, all over. Just a little bit. Just adds a little bit of interest, visual interest to the dragon wing, so it's not all just the same. Make sure to change your angle of your brush so that you get some variance so it isn't all the same kind of pattern. And try not to be too regular about it. You want to make it kind of irregular and splotchy. Liberate the candy. Oh yeah, and there will be breast cancer awareness pink. Thanks for the reminder, guys. I need to get on that. I need to put that on my to-do list. Not that it's very difficult to make. It is actually a very simple color. No, you should never have showered us with fireballs. Well, unless you were talking about candy. But I don't think I eat those because they're cinnamon, right? They're also spicy. Have to watch out for the spiciness. All right, going to do some scars
Oh.
on this wing.
Candelo or no, that's Candolph. No, that's Candelo. Never mind. Sorry. We've lots of names that are very similar. Candelo figured it out.
Oh, yeah?
He subbed, yeah.
So there is a way? Or got to, he got to his desktop and managed to sneak in there.
I imagine that's what he did.
Yay! More fresh scars. These are even redder. That one's really kind of red and angry. Poor Mr. Dragon. He took a scratch there. Angry scratches on Mr. Dragon's wing. Well, they are cinnamon. Okay. If they're not totally like the Fireball hot spicy cinnamon, like Red Hots, then I can have them. Just have to be careful with the spices. Also, I'm a wimp. You can ask numerous people who like spicy food in my life how much of a wimp I am, and they will roll their eyes and say, oh my God, such a wimp. A few more scratches. I got a little bit too red with some of these. I'm going to go back to my pink and pale it up a little bit. Want to vary the color and patterns of the scratches and angles so that it all looks like damage from different fights. Our black dragon is very scrappy.
This is a pretty good question in chat, actually.
Uh-oh, what? At what point in your painting do you usually focus on adding texture to each part? It does. Let's think. So here I had kind of a base coat down already when I started adding battle damage because I wanted to not have to paint around the battle damage, Jason. So essentially, that's kind of my criteria there. If you're going to add texture to something, ask yourself if you're going to be painting around it. And that usually means you're adding texture toward the end of the process. The variance to that is if you are like building layers of texture from the ground up. Like if you're adding texture to, say, dragon scales, and you want to add kind of like streaks and dots to say that the scale is rough, then you probably want to start doing that just when you start with your first layer of highlights, and then just accentuate that pattern as you go into your next layer of highlights. But in general, I'm trying to think of where I would add texture like at the beginning of the process. Let me think. Got leather, scales. I guess at fur, I add a suggestion of texture when I start fur because I start it with a wet blend. So at that point, I'm blocking in like, you know, shadows and highlights and color all in a mass, all wet blending it. Maybe I'll do a fur demo for you guys sometimes. I know I have a fur demo lined up to do on my Patreon at some point. But in that case, you're really building texture from stage one because you need the fur to look rough and convincingly, and you're trying to set up a natural gradient of colors. So for that, I would probably start from the base coat. But fur would be probably the only exception where I'd start texture from base coat. Yes, fur is fun. I actually really enjoy doing fur, and I have a couple models I could demo on. And since I mentioned it, for those of you who are not on my Patreon, I have one. It's fun. It's awesome. I just made up a random encounter video table for my Tier 4 patrons to decide what I'm going to teach for October. So if you missed out on that and you're a Tier 4 patron, get over to the Discord and look, because I actually did make a random encounter table, and you all need to roll a d20. But apart from absolute geekery, so all right, so actually these wings, if you see how rough they look and roughed up they look, this is about right, I think. That's looking good. So now I need to concentrate on what I've been ignoring, which is all these struts and stuff. I forgot to say where you can find my Patreon. Sorry, it's patreon.com/paintingbig, because I paint big stuff like dragons and things. And we've got a Discord, and it's really cool, and we all share pictures of our stuff, and I help people and answer questions, in addition to doing, you know, the videos for the Patreon and all that fun stuff, and an AMA every month. So yeah, check it out if you're inclined. Yes, and Jason says, join us. Yes, because she's one of my patrons, and she's really cool. Not that all my patrons aren't really cool. How big is a thing? How big is a thing? 2 drops of distilled water and shaking bottle. Oh. Still learning to navigate Patreon. Yeah, Grim. Yeah, it can get a little interesting. If you are you a patron? If you need help with like Discord, yes, Patreon only Discord is what I've got. Because Patreon and Discord have a partnership, so it made it really easy for me to set up my Discord and just give my patrons a place to hang out and chat and share stuff. I really love it. How long have I been painting for? Roland, oh boy. So I started painting when I was 9, and I'm ancient now, so a long time. Almost 40 years. That should date me, but who cares? But as far as when I got serious about painting, that was probably more like, when I was in college, I started working at a game store, and when they found out I could paint, they said, "You need to play Warhammer with us," and then I was doomed. That really was when I started looking at like White Dwarf Magazine and the Golden Demon Awards that they always did in there, which is their painting competition for Games Workshop. And that really inspired me. I was like, I could do that. So I started really working on getting better as a painter. And then in 2002, I went out to Baltimore and won a Golden Demon. So I fulfilled my criteria there. And I spent some time doing freelancing. And so actually, I guess if I take it from there, I'm thinking about where are we? We're in 19. I guess a bit over 20 years of really professional level painting where I was selling my work on commission or eBay or that sort of thing, all that sort of stuff. So quite a while to develop stuff. And my style has changed a lot over the years, and the way I apply my techniques also. I guess also part of it is just learning why I do what I do, kind of taking a close look. Always good thing to do as you develop as a painter is to kind of take a look at, well, I do it this way, but why do I do it this way? And is it really working, right? Could it be better? So let's see here. I need to paint a dragon. I think we're going to do what we did on the body, and we're going to set up. So the only problem with this camera position, Justin, is just that it's actually a little awkward to figure out where to put my hand sometimes, but we tried a new camera position today, guys, so I'm giving Justin feedback, but I think I could get used to it. So I'm essentially going to pick out these little struts here, these little dragon struts, bone struts going down the side of the wing, and I'm mostly picking out the knobby part where it intersects with the bone, the next bone in line, and I'm just going to kind of mark those with a highlight right now. And I'm mixing runic purple with white just to get, something down so I can kind of see those bones. Because where these knobby parts of the bones fit in to the sockets is where you're going to see them protrude more. So you're going to see them more clearly there. For lower down the bone, I'm probably going to use swamp green, because remember we're using green and purple to highlight our dragon. So I'm probably going to transition to a different color as I go down the bone. And I'll probably do some glazing to blend it in. But really right now I just want to kind of make those bones stand out a little bit more. Okay, what's going on here? Nomadic Chris. Well, you've been nomadic and wandered into this stream. It is Wing Day, Chris. Wing Day. And Enceladon Oceans. Yeah, Enceladon Oceans. Yeah, welcome. Glad to be here live. How many do we have, Justin? How many people?
We currently have 57.
57. So if we get up to 75, that means we give away 3 dragons. But because of Justin's sub challenge that we far overshot, that's at least 6 dances of death that we're giving away. And then he said he might actually throw in some extras because Jacob was so generous. So we could be up to 7 or 8 dances of death, guys. So yeah, so text your friends and say, get over here and watch Anne paint wings, because that gets us more potential winning of dances of death. Because for every 25 at this point, I guess we could say we're giving away at least 2. Would that be correct? Because we're doubling it. And then maybe throwing in some extra love. And we already said we were going to maybe put some paint in there, all sorts of stuff. So, like, Draconic Math says, text your friends.
I have VIP swag back, though. Or not VIP, what? I have swag back.
Oh, you want us to do that, too?
So, actually, as it turns out, someone raided my Dance of Death stash.
What?
So, we're going to do 2 things here.
Okay.
These people are still going to get something really cool and awesome that's cooler than that, and they're going to get IOUs for Dance
Dance of Death.
So, when they come in here in sometime the next few months... What?
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Oh my God.
We're recording this information. You will receive a Dance of Death for
And
free.
you know who you can blame for this, guys? Ed.
Promise.
Blame Ed.
You will receive a Dance of Death. It just may be delayed. But you're still going to get a cool dragon between now and then.
Yeah, maybe we should kind of up, like, what do we have good stock on as far as dragons? Like, is there a really cool dragon that we have, like, in stock? Like,
We have any of the big ones like Cinder.
You guys want a Cinder?
We have
You want a Cinder for free
I
instead?
don't know. T-Rock. T-Rock
T-Rock?
is
You guys want a
really,
T-Rock?
the new T-Rock is really nice.
the old mechanical dragon.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Clockwork?
Clockwork
Yes.
I love the Clockwork Dragon. I don't know. Maybe we should just pick one. Let's see here. No Maldrakars,
Roland
guys.
JC Maldrakar.
Yeah, Mocha, I'm with you. We got to
say, like,
find
a
the
head?
looter.
A head.
Oh, we could split them up into heads. No. I don't know. I'm inclined toward Tyroxul because I think he's a really good resculpt.
And Tyroxul is huge
And
and
he's
awesome.
huge. So you guys will get an even bigger dragon.
Yes,
um,
definitely.
To make up for the
yeah.
fact that somebody who we're going to hunt down and string up and torture.
Oh, Reventine,
raided.
you're also going to get a dance. You're going to get the
Yeah,
the
you
T-Rock.
will get a dance of dragon too. If you win, you will
Yes.
get a dance. It's just going to take a while for those dances to come in, and we don't want
Yes.
you guys to like have that. Oh, I'm going to get a dragon, but not for 8 months. You know,
Correct.
that
You're
kind
going to
of
get a
thing.
dragon. You're just not going to get
Yes.
the dance.
you're-
of
So
death for a
this
while.
way, tell you what, you get 2 dragons.
2
And
dragons.
behind you on the floor is one of the boxes of Troxel.
Oh, okay.
That's
Let
true.
me see. That guy? Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it's
Reaching.
actually-
Reaching.
Oh, you
reaching,
got it. You got it. There it
reaching.
is. Okay.
Ha-ha!
And we'll cut
All
to the
right.
big cam here.
Yep. All right, so this is a big dragon.
So
He
here
is
you go.
also awesome. He's
So it's both a
and we
good
have
day.
the assemble. So all right, so this is what we're making up to. Yes, eventually you will get the Dance of Death, but right now, or at least as soon as Justin mails them out, this is Tyroxul. We'd like to introduce you to T-Rock, as he's called, or big butt dragon, as he used to be called, though he's not nearly as wide in the rear as he used to be. But he is a fantastic, and you can see extremely large, dragon. So yeah, Dark Knight Azrath. That's what I think. Ed's gonna just shut down the Twitch channel because we're going overboard. But he's a very big boy.
Hey, he probably raided my stash anyway. So
Yes,
it's
and
probably
Ed
his-
was probably at fault. That's why I said you got to blame Ed. Ed is the one who runs around grabbing random things off of things. So anyway, this dragon is awesome. So for the short-term, not quite immediate gratification phase, if you win today, we will give you a Tyroxul, and we will also put you on the IOU list for a Dance of Death when they come in 6 months or whatever it takes.
And you're still going to get a handful of paint.
You're still going to get a handful of paint. That's how much you're going to get off of attending this stream today. So please, hashtag free if you haven't already.
Didn't we say this week was going to be a big giveaway?
Yeah, we said this week was going to be a big giveaway. So if Ed doesn't remember that, well, that's his own fault. All right, T-Rock, you're going to be my mascot today. There we go. All right, yay! I'm going to go back to, wrong wing. There we go, right wing. Actually, it is the right wing. Well, all right. There we are, yay!
Oh yes, and the most important part of this is
Yes,
make sure you type in hashtag free to actually be entered into.
Yes, make sure you
giveaway.
hashtag free. Sigwolf, Ed himself is always out of context, so really it would just be, the way it usually is. Oh, recheck shipping addresses. Yeah, good point.
Absolutely. I think that for the number of people that we have that win here, we will. I'll get those names and we'll make
You
sure
can
to
put them on a little
double-check.
list and keep
Yes.
your little list on the wall until it's time to ship.
And then who knows? If we're really lucky, maybe it's around Christmas time and you receive an unexpected Christmas present.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Christmas presents are always good. Un-Christmas presents are good as well.
This is all they had done, so you can get full for selling one spot.
There are two down here.
They can make more, but yeah. Yeah, we have the pieces here. They assemble here.
Oh, okay.
It's not always.
Well, we might have to because we were very enthusiastic about our giveaways. So yeah,
What do we commit to?
infinitely rolling dragons.
Oh, then you should be fine.
Well, yeah. Except we've been encouraging them to tell their friends.
Yeah, which is great. No, we definitely want that.
We can
We can absolutely expand for these.
Oh,
This
gotta
is
get
not
my
a problem.
hand
We
on the
have
tape.
these in stock.
We're just hitting the struts up here. What? I did not. Okay, I missed some off-color comment, you guys. It's no fair when they're talking behind my or in front of my face.
No, I said we have these in stock, right? And I shot Collins a
Draw
look,
nipple pink.
and the look he gave
Yay.
me, and then walked away.
Yeah. It's the buffering is bad today, and the Twitch stream is very rocky today. Oh, good. You shared that. Thank you, Reventine, for sharing our Twitch stream info on the Miniatures Monthly Discord. Tell Aaron Lovejoy I said thanks. Can always take more awesome coming from Miniatures Monthly. And they helped us out by helping to coordinate Sergio's workshop here, too. So, yay. We are Miniatures friends.
Hey, Bug Lips.
There's a Bug Lips. Awesome.
And actually, Roland, as you can tell from the issues today with our stream, just a hair. No, although I will say most of them are through Twitch today.
Yeah.
With our issues, we've been we hit the ground running after after ReaperCon.
Yeah. Well, we have to reconstruct everything. So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm pretty much just blocking out the top of the bone where it's intersecting with the previous one, and then the bottom of the bone where the knobby end hits the next bone. And I'm going to leave that intersecting area mostly, or the middle area here, mostly black. Depending. I may look at lighting in a bit because the wing is going to be out like this. So I might need to highlight the edge just to bring it out. But because I do want these struts to, to stand out a bit. I do want you to see them, obviously.
We did just hit 75, by the way.
I knew it.
I figured we would.
Yep.
I figured we would.
Oh, yes.
Especially
Once
since
you get people excited about awesome draconic giveaways.
it's okay, Jason. We still hit it. We'll take it.
We'll take it, yes. Even I'm sure we'll manage to find one extra person. So, all right. Let's actually be. Do you guys have any questions for me today? Just painting questions, randomness. Get some informativeness here. Just blending purple to green for fun.
They want to, what is it, Jay Dungeon Master? Ask what miniature you're painting.
Oh, well, it's the Dance of Death by Julie Guthrie. It's the dragon on the bottom of the two dueling dragons, which is a fantastic. Pants are optional, or ants are optional. I mean, ants are always optional except on picnics, I would think. You have to have ants on picnics. At least that's what I was taught in Wisconsin. But I don't know. 9 p.m. is probably pants optional time. Unless you're at work at 9 p.m. Then I would say that pants are not optional, but it probably depends on your line of work.
I mean, they can't see us from the waist down. We could just be pantsless right now.
I don't need to go there. I really don't need to go there with with the Twitch chat.
I'm wearing pants, though. I just want to confirm to everyone I am absolutely wearing pants.
He's actually lying to you.
No.
He's wearing shorts.
She's not wrong. You caught me in a lie. That was definitely shorts.
Yes, Justin is not to be trusted except when he says he's going to give you cool stuff for getting all your friends to tune in to the painting channel. And then, if they tune in, they also can be entered for cool stuff. I'm just lining and putting a solid black line between the strut and the wing at this point to just help it stand out. You can see how this helps that strut stand out just a little bit. And then when I take those highlights up a little higher, they'll come out. You don't want the struts to necessarily, they don't have to jump out at you, right? But you want to be able to see that the struts are there. They should have a little bit of a highlight on them. Pay attention to your small details. Even on a model this big, especially on a model this big, you don't want to lose those small details just because it's so huge. You still want to hit those little details because that's going to make it look even better.
Yes, Shoto, we were up to 6.
Huh?
Shoto asked if we were up to 6 winners.
Yes, we
because
are.
I am doubling it.
Yes. Trust in Justin. Never trust in Justin, Shonald. Ever. All right, so I'm just going to hit some highlights here. I'm using a mixture of pure white with a little bit of purple in it. And I'm just trying to hit some of the tops of these bones to make them stand out. And I actually still need to get this top one too. Tippy top. And just putting a line across the top and just kind of carrying it down a little bit, down the bone, can help. If this was a competition model, I would be putting more work into it. Of course.
Buglip said Ed would be done by now.
Ed would be done by now. Yes, I will not use the Ed house painting brush.
Oh, that's for the giveaway, Kilted Viking. Hashtag free, anyone?
Yes. Hashtag free. Make sure you hashtag free because then you get entered to win dragons.
We like when people follow, if obviously possible.
Oh, yeah, follow us. That
Follow
way you
is
get told,
easy.
when we go live. And usually we go live at about the same time every week, but lately it's been erratic because of the con schedule.
And I actually set a goal very early in the stream for 10 subs to double the giveaways, and Jacob completely smashed that within seconds.
Yes.
So
Yes. Justin threw down the gauntlet and then was destroyed. We like it when that happens. It makes us giggle.
maybe I need a higher threshold next time. I don't know. You know what?
Hello, Forever
I'm not
Night.
gonna
Hello,
challenge it.
Avrelina. Hello, everybody. Yay, look at all those frees.
Make sure you're hashtagging free or next to each other there, Reaper Scott B.
Yeah. Make sure that they're coexisting. Otherwise, it won't tag. Twitch won't tag it. We wouldn't want you to be deprived of dragon. Should you be drawn? Deprived of dragons sounds like a very bad fantasy novel. I mean, it could be a very good fantasy novel, I suppose, but somehow tricksy titles do not good novels make. Unless you're like somebody who's really good at it, like Terry Pratchett. Oh, Kilted Viking, you took a long break. That happens though, This is the kind of hobby where people kind of fall out of it, and then years later they're like, you know what? That was really relaxing and I enjoyed it. I'm going back to it. And then they go back and they see all the new stuff that's been awesome put out in the years that they were gone. They go, oh my God. Because the landscape in this hobby seems to change fast. Have you guys noticed? Like, the new products come out, the models are constantly getting better. The stuff that would have blown your mind like 10 years ago now looks kind of lackluster next to the new stuff coming out.
No, Samus, we don't have, because it's a forwarded email for that. We don't have any auto replies for it, but every email that is sent is absolutely read. And
Mocha, perfect. Deprived of dragons, dragon withdrawals, and dragon rehab. So, like, what genre? Like, we could go, I mean, obviously fantasy, but what non-fantasy genre? Like, how about romance?
Ooh, like
Deprived of dragons, dragon withdrawals, we could do a romance novel based around.
Isn't that like Ann Perth's? Is it Ann Perth?
I don't know.
There's
a couple of like urban fantasy writers who are also technically romance.
I can't remember the name of those books now. Dragon Riders of Pern? Is that Ann Perth?
Oh, Anne McCaffrey.
Anne McCaffrey.
One of
that's
the
what it
first.
is.
They're not romances. They're straight up sci-fi actually.
Oh, I thought there was some romance in them.
Well,
It's been a long time.
romance. There's romance in almost all genre books. The dragon version of 50 Shades. Now Dark Knight Azareth. We do not have to go that far. We could have it be a light-hearted romance involving dragons at a dragon veterinary clinic.
Also, Forever Night, Fort Worth does feel good right now. I live there, actually. And when I came into work today, it felt really nice.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice out.
We're starting to see, the peakings of fall.
Oh, I wish, because the temperatures are just kind of a downer.
It'll be nice, won't it?
Soon. There's a dragon dating sim. Yeah, I'm a cute. Yeah.
50 Shades of Chromatics.
Yeah, Sigwolf, a lot of science fiction played pretty loose with the science back then because fantasy wasn't considered a real genre. And what I find very interesting is that it's back to that now. I had an industry person, a book buyer, actually recently comment to me that, oh, well, all fantasy is pretty much just young adult now. And I'm like, what? You're devaluing my genre, like, by saying it's only for young adults and adults can't like it anymore? That's just such BS. And yet that's the way it was when McCaffrey was writing. So you know, in order to be taken more seriously as a writer or to get adults to read the book, she had to, you know, she had to write science fiction, even though, yes, as you say, the science, especially for today, is very loose. She has a lot of pseudo-science fiction, but that doesn't mean she's not an awesome writer, and I love her books. You seem to be all dragon thumbs. Yeah, Arizona, no doubt. You can't wait for winter. It's beautiful in winter. I go to visit my parents out there, usually in January or February. Yeah, high fantasy is still alive and well. You're right, Jason. Thanks to George R. R. Martin, pretty much, and the success of the Tolkien books and movies. High fantasy is still a thing. Yes, ReaperCon is a giant family reunion. Somehow it manages to still be so, even after, like, you know, 1,500 attendees this year, which just blows my mind. I love that our community draws such great people to it.
It was a lot of fun meeting everyone, too, from Twitchland.
Yes.
So that was...
Yeah, I met a ton of my patrons, and I met people from the Twitch stream, and that was really cool. And I'm sorry if my head appeared to have blown off sometime during ReaperCon. It's usually what happens because I got hundreds of people coming up to me and I'm going, ee! And I'm going, hey, it's ReaperCon. And then I'm going, oh my gosh, all brain cells gone.
I liked Robert Jordan in the first, like, 4 books of the Wheel of Time series.
I made it to book 8 on Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the book he was actually up to at that time, so I stopped and I just never picked it up again. I kind of wanted to pick it up after Brandon Sanderson went to finish it because I like Brandon's work. Yeah, I never got around to it yet.
I listened to all 14 books, I think.
Okay, so guys, here we go. Oh, are they finally doing a show on cable for the Wheel of Time? That'll be interesting. They're going to have to cut out so much.
They are. There's going to be so many scenes of tea drinking and discussing of politics. And
yeah, but they're going to have to cut it. Just like with the Song of Ice and Fire, they're going to have to strip it down a lot.
Yeah,
so if you look what I've got here, you can see, right? Now you can really see where each little bone comes out and connects to the next one. And it's just enough detail so that you can see those struts. So now the wing has form. And that's what you're looking for when you're dealing with, I can put a little bit more on these wings here. When you're just have to do a little bit and trying to concentrate on the areas where the bones join together, and that'll be enough to kind of show you the shape at a glance.
Thanks
you
for
don't
the
have
sub.
to do much else. Yay, another. Oh, so yeah, it was like definitely. And the problem I had Greek Nakos also was that I didn't like a lot of his characters because in my opinion, he did not write very good women. So for me as a female reader, it was a little bit hard sometimes because I liked so few characters and...
Hey, I like the main character's love interest with the girl in the East. I can't remember the
Well, you can't remember her name.
Oh, to be fair, I can't remember.
They were all the same.
I can't remember the main character's name, to be fair. That was so many years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But she was really cool. She was really, really strong and awesome. And she, I think she used a spear or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I just look at all of his females in those books, and they look like the same person with different colored hair and different colored ethnicities attached.
Yeah.
That's just, every writer has a weakness and a strength, and some of them are weaker or stronger than others, and that's just truth across various people. So, and he did what Robert Jordan did amazingly, which I really admire him for, was world building. Like his mythology behind the Wheel of Time series, and it's just the mythic verisimilitude that he gave to his books, where you feel like it's a real world. That's a super gift. That's hard to do. I really admire his writing for that.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part of his books.
It was insane. It was. That's why when I remember reading them, and then I read the not Robert Jordan, the books that just finished. The Game of Thrones books, sorry.
Just finished on HBO, not yet finished in real life.
Sure. But when I read all those books and people talked about how the politicking and how intricate and stuff it was, and I remember the Wheel of Time's books, and I was like, this is like a 20th of what Robert Jordan built. I mean, it's huge.
I think that Gurm is, I hope he's not watching. I hope that Gurm is, or I think that Gurm is not quite the world builder that
but his dialogue is insane.
His dialogue is wonderful, and actually his politicking, I think, is the intricacy of his motivations for his characters is very realistic.
I agree.
You never doubt why anybody would do such a thing for such a reason, right? And that also is a gift with writing, is making sure you know what your character's motivations are and making sure the reader knows.
Because I do feel like his
So-
motivations were kind of a spectrum. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
just a switch. I will
Yeah.
say with Robert Jordan, everything was very black. It was good or bad. It
Right,
was-
right. It's black or white, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me see here.
Yeah. Also, don't look now, but we're at 91 viewers.
More. This is a new record for us, guys.
It absolutely is.
All right, so we're on the wing, and we've painted the struts. So I'm using my swamp green and my runic purple, and I'm mixing in some of my stained ivory to those to make them lighter. So pretty much we're using those same colors over almost all the wing, except for the scratches and scars. We're done with Bright Skin Shadow 9232 with a little bit of clear red glazed over them in places to make the scars, some of the scars look fresher than others. And now I need to block in this scale, all these scales here. And I probably need to rebase coat them, probably need to switch to a bigger brush. Always use as big a brush as you can get away with, especially when you're trying to paint faster. If I tried to base coat this with the little brush that I was using a moment ago, it would take me a while. But if I switch to this nice big fat brush, which still has a good point, you'll see in a moment. Good tip. That's key. See how sharp that tip is? So that means I can still hit all of these details without being sloppy. But because it's large, I can cover this area with a new base coat, because I've had a little bit of rub off, so I definitely want to do that before I get to highlighting it. So I'm going to hit that and just pretty much cover over this whole part one more time. And that happens with any model when it's large. Big dragon parts are just criminal for this, just because you have to hold them, especially with wings. There's no good way for me to mount this. Yeah, my scratches are freehand, actually, Samus. Hold on, I'll get to that straight lines. Oh, going to the IPMS show. IPMS is cool.
Also, Phyrician, because he asked about if we had read the Name of the Wind series, and I will say that is probably my favorite high fantasy series I've ever read. And that's high
Pat
praise.
Rothfuss is really good.
His character creation is on another level for me.
Yeah,
It's really good.
He's a very good writer. Really good writer. Also a pretty good world builder.
Yes, he is.
His world is very intricate. And his magic has a system, which I like. It's not just magic.
Yeah, and then makes it up as they go along.
Yeah. So, Samus, about straight lines. So, straight lines are as the view are in the eye of the beholder. So most of these lines are not actually straight. They're straight enough, though. So the key to straight lines is brush control, right? But you can get away with a lot if you move faster. So let me see if I can just mix up a little bit of my flesh color again and do a fast line. I bet I could do, actually I guess I could do it on a sticky note, but I don't. Oh yeah, I do have sticky notes. I use sticky notes a lot for just showing people stuff. That way I don't have to demo on my wing. So let's look at purple sticky note and get some black paint. So the fact is, if you move fast and you have a relaxed hand and you go with your natural, like this, right? Like you're drawing an eye, or you're drawing just like doing hash marks, right? Like if you're doing the whole 5 and then the cross, right? So you're holding your brush like a pencil, and you're doing that same motion, and you'll find that if you go fast, you can do very straight lines. And once you've got that line down, even if it's thin, then you can take some paint and just kind of paint over it, and you'll still have more or less a straight line. So for scratches and scars and stuff, like on that wing, that's a good way to do it. Just hold your wing, do a couple scratches, maybe do a few in another direction, or 1 or 2 that are crisscrossed, and just do them with that straight brush stroke. Just move the wing around so that you're getting them from, different directions, and, make sure your paint's a little thinner. You see how my paint's breaking up right there? That means my paint's too thick for this. So put a fair amount of water in your paint and use a brush that's very thin with it. Only load up part of your brush. So I only usually put paint on about bottom half of my brush. And then just do fast little lines. And you know what? If they're a little bit curved, it doesn't matter for things like scars, because probably as the claws ripped through or whatever it was that made a sword cut or something, it might have, the surface might have changed or moved, and you could easily see a curved scar or something that's broken up, something that's really jagged. You could even, do something like that, and then as long as you're It's you know, as long as you maybe use some red to like make that like look really jagged, then you can convincingly portray like that maybe the surface just changed direction as the sword was cutting through it, or the claw, or whatever. So you can take some serious liberties with scars. They really do come in all shapes and sizes, as any of us know who are prone to disaster, because we'll look at our arm, see a gigantic bruise, and go, how did that get there? I'm one of those people. So yeah, so that straight lines, at least small straight lines for things like scars and things, that's it. Just use your straight, however is easier for you to draw a straight line quickly. And most people is kind of the up and down, because we're used to doing it for letter I or number 1, and just keep it short. Keep it short. And that's my very quick how-to on that. All right, so we have rebase coated our nice. You can see our nice dragon arm is very black now. So I have to think about where the dragon is and how his wings are going. I think he's actually kind of like this. So I kind of need to highlight this a little bit stronger and this muscle down here, because I need to think about how light is falling on the wing. So this is more toward the sky, so it would probably have a stronger highlight. This would have less of a highlight. And then this shoulder muscle where it stands out would get more, and some of this would get some. Double check that it's not paint. Your bruised purple is very lifelike. Yes, I love bruised purple. It's wonderful. All right. And yes, I can't, yeah, putting your elbow in your palette, Silverthorn. I have been there. Absolutely. All right, so now I have to kind of reference how I did this over on Original Dragon. For those of you who haven't seen Mr. Dragon, this is the body of Mr. Dragon that we were working on. I believe I was doing kind of a purple and white, and then I glazed over it with swamp green for this awesome side part. So we're going to play with that. So let's get our runic purple and our pure white, and I'm going to use a bigger brush for this because they're going to be wet blending larger areas. And whenever you are using wet blending on a bigger area, use a bigger brush. As big a brush as you can get away with. Yeah, Mr. Dragon is particularly cute and snarly. Wait, where's his snarly face? There's his snarly face. Snarly face, rawr. Oh, he's not in focus. There he is. There's Mr. Dragon in his snarly face. I still have a lot of work to do on Mr. Dragon, but I at least wanted to get some more progress done on wings. At least so that one of the wings was actually done or close to it. Because, you know, when you've been working on things for this many weeks, you're just like, ugh, running out of oomph. So you got to see some serious progress. It's actually why I paint in sections. I tend to paint one section at a time on models, because I know I usually don't have a lot of time to work on them, which means that things risk dragging on and I risk losing focus. So I don't like that. I don't want to run out of oomph and have to force myself to paint. So I will instead try to finish at least one area, and that way I get that feeling of, yay, I finished something. There. And that keeps me going, essentially. So a couple of my friends say I'm very weird the way I paint, because they're used to blocking in big areas and then slowly finishing sections, or doing everything rough and then focusing on parts. And I'm like, I just can't do that. So let's see here. I want to get another little, this muscle's going to stick out a little bit, so we're going to highlight that. And I'm just wet blending. So I'm laying down a layer of color and I'm just putting my light over the top. Then I'm grabbing a little bit more of the other color. Then maybe I'm grabbing a little bit of black to blend it in around the edges. And I don't need to be real precise on this, because I'm going to come in probably and pick up specific scales when I have time. But mostly I just want a couple of strong highlights on the scaling part here so that I can see where I am going here. I need a little more purple. And any area that I bring up almost to white is going to go a little bit greenish when I put the glaze on. Let's see. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then, and I can go a little bright too, because I'm going to knock it down with a different color over the top. So let me grab my purple, keep this a little bit of a darker color. I may just dry brush a little bit. Oh, I'm dry brushing, guys. You can just mark this day in history. Mostly because I just want to get a little bit suggestion of color on those scales. Then we're going to go back to wet blending. on this bulgy part here because it's going to pick up the light. And I'm going to put a bunch of purple down, going to get some white, put that near the top. I'm going to concentrate on areas that are kind of facing toward the sky for the lightest. And then we're just going to touch it up. It's a fairly small area, all things considered. Any questions? Am I missing anything? Maybe we should do a book on painting techniques. You know, Lucadio, I have been asked for that for like 20 years, I think. I think I made it my top, like, reward on my Patreon. Like, if we actually hit, like, my huge exorbitant goal, eventually I will actually write the painting book that I've been meaning to write for eons.
No Blues Clues. You do not have to be present. Just check back with the show later once it's on Twitch or it's on YouTube. And just get all your information sent to me by the weekend if you win.
All right, so there we go. I think I'm going to use a little bit of a brighter highlight on that part. I actually do want a little bit lighter and brighter on that. So there we go. So that's just blocking in where my highlights should be. Do you guys see how the light would kind of pick up various areas here? It helps that scales would probably be shiny. And I can go back and hit edges also. I'm missing my elbow here, so I'm going to get that. Sub to my Patreon so I can hit that goal. Yay! This is an excellent idea. It's going to take a lot of subs, but we're growing. I'm very happy with my Patreon right now, actually. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the topics I have coming up too.
Out of curiosity, Avrilina, did you want the dragons to be completely separate from the paint? Or are you... I'm not quite following what the suggestion is.
There we go. That looks good. What do you guys think? Looks very purpley. All right, so now let's knock down this purple. Yeah, Lucadio, that would take a really awesome painting book, I think. Something more involved. We used to have a good beginner's guide in the Warlord book, but that thing's been out of print for a while, I think. I was very happy with that painting guide when I wrote it, but I could do a better one now. Pardon me while I just try to hit a little bit more here. Oh yeah, we have to watch shipping costs, that's true. We are giving away a lot of stuff for free.
More small things are typically for us as
there we are.
Economically less.
All right, so if I look at this, I like it. You can see that there's light falling here, you know, where this bulges out. Light's being picked up where the bones kind of and the tendons kind of bulge out here, the muscles, hitting a little bit over here, and I need to hit the top part of that up by the claw. And then we can put a green glaze over it and hopefully make it look really interesting. What time is it, Justin?
It is almost 2:40.
Oh, all right. So it's coming up on end time. I better finish this glaze so that you guys have something to walk away with here.
Yes, Roland, actually. So with your particular giveaway, because I think you won last week or the week before, one of the two, yours will be on a pallet that will then be shipped to our UK department, or UK warehouse, and then they will ship it to you. So yours,
delayed,
yours could take a little while. Yeah.
It'll get to you.
It will get there, yes.
We're trying to get it to you as efficiently as we can. All right, so there we go. That's looking okay. A little bit more on the upper side. I want a little bit more of a bright highlight up here. This is just a tip, by the way, guys. So I'm using my big brush even to do these little tiny things because I've actually turned it sideways. Let's see if you can see it. So you can see that this part is really thick, but I've flattened it so that the edge is really thin. And that's letting me do these little tiny details even with this giant number 2 brush. So that's a trick if you're kind of trying to map things in and you don't want to switch brushes for tiny details. You can flatten your brush into more of a shovel shape and use the edge to hit the tiny highlights. So quick tip using big brushes.
I actually remember most of y'all's usernames from week in and week out because we see a lot of the same people every week, and all
right.
you guys are kind of our friends now.
Green glaze time. They're
Right.
our family.
Right, Ann? Yeah,
our
they're family.
Twitch fam. But yeah, we do remember a lot of you when you're on the show regularly. We just hang out, right? It just becomes our hangout. Let's see, should I just use water? I keep telling people I only need water for Master Series, so I better just use water. So I'm thinning down my glaze here, and when you are glazing, you want it really thin. This is still pretty strong if you see it. You can see how it's fallen off the side of my porcelain palette here, and that kind of gives me an idea. No refunds, Justin. You're stuck with me. Does that mean you're invited for Thanksgiving? Shotakami. I don't know. Justin's going to have a big enough Thanksgiving for all of you guys.
I mean, we can try. I don't have a very big house, but...
Yeah, Jess, yeah, that's a good idea to snap a grayscale. Snap a picture in grayscale. The iPhone will even do it. Just take it in grayscale, I think, now. Put Anna Justin on the Christmas card list. Well, Grim, we have a whole bunch of our fans on our Christmas card list. Although I don't know how often we do Christmas cards anymore. So I'm going to thin this just a little bit more, guys, because the rule with glazes, remember, is you can always put another level on, but you can't take it off once you put it on. And I don't want to have to redo all this purple. So I'm going to thin it to see how this is, how thin this is, where it's just barely tinting this side of the palette here. I think this will be okay. I might want it a little thicker. We'll see. So we're going to just put that right over the top of all this purple. Boom. Big glaze, big green glaze everywhere. La! It's all over. Oh my gosh. What's happening? There. Okay, so that knocked the purple down. Notice it's not as bright anymore. But I'm not getting a lot of the green yet, and I want more of the green. So I'm going to wick off the excess here. When you're glazing, don't leave puddles because they'll dry weird. Because essentially you're breaking the paint when you thin it down that much. So I'm going to wick off the excess paint. That's also going to make it dry faster on the model, so I can put another layer on. But you do see how it's not nearly as bright, right? That green really knocked down the purple. So, what's a glaze? So essentially, you know what a wash is, Roland? Where you put a thinned paint over a surface to make shading. Essentially, it falls down into the recesses and it shades your model. So a glaze is like an even thinner version of a wash. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to tint the surface with either a different color, or maybe you're like, if you're painting, if I was wanted this to be a more intense purple, I could glaze with something like clear purple that's extremely bright, and that would make it even more intense. Or the other thing glazes do is they can hide some of your rough brush strokes. So if you dry brush a lot, but you don't like the texture it leaves, you can glaze over your dry brushing to make some of that texture go away. You're essentially, it's like a filter on a camera. You're putting on a really thin layer of color to change the surface a little bit. So that wasn't quite strong enough, and I want to do a heavier green. So I may go to my original mix, or maybe just drop a tiny bit more water in my original mix. One drop. I'll try that. Want to blow on this and make it dry. But I want a little more green on this. I don't want it as purple as it is. I want some serious green interference. You know what, though? One thing I didn't do is I didn't make some of my highlights pure white, and that's part of the problem. Because the green will show a lot better over white. So I'm going to thin down some white, and I'm going to put in some white in areas where it should be. And then that should enable us to show a bit more green when we glaze. So I would say that a glaze is typically like 1.5 to 2 drops of water to 1 drop of paint, typically, roughly. I just do it by look. Yeah, Paint Club is informal, but Paint Club is, you know, if you need feedback or whatever in person, I am there. I am not there this week. I am in Florida this weekend. Okay, so green, really strong green. Yeah, this is more like what I want. Boom, 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 boom.
Which reminds me, Ann, since you're going to be in Florida this weekend,
Yes.
the following weekend, I think I will be in Florida. But I will not be here for the ToolBox episode or the Reaper Live episode.
Oh my! So we are having a hiatus next week? Or?
No, we're not having a hiatus. We're still going to have the show. I'm just going to place it in the very, very capable hands of my assistant, Collins.
Oh my God! Guys, we're going down.
So
we're going down. We're in Florida. I'm going to be in Orlando, and then I got to drive down to see family down near Sanibel Island. So kind of just taking a little bit of a relaxing break after ReaperCon, vacationing. My uncle is getting really elderly, and so I want to stop down and see him. I got a chance to stay in Orlando for really cheap, so just pretty much gonna hang out. What's wrong with Collins? There are so many things. So many things. Yes, Grim, you should be scared. Is Collins gonna pay direct? I'm still gonna be here having to deal with Collins.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, that's more like what I want. So like you can still see hints of the purple, but there's also this greenish hue. And the wing looks a lot more neutral now, and I'm pretty happy with it. Like, that brings my greens. You can really see the greens up here at the top. So, yeah. So that's about what I want, because that's what I have on Mr. Dragon here, is we've got kind of a purple and green thing going. And now this matches. I need to re-highlight, but this matches his side pretty well, if you can see it. So, yeah. There we go. So that's going to look here. Shall we, guys? Shall we?
That's actually a good question, Rod. Mana TX? Mana TX? Rod Mana
I can't
TX?
get my dragon close enough. There we go. Look, guys, look.
Move it back some.
There he is. We can see his whole wing now. Look, isn't it cool? I'm very thrilled. Really thrilled. Yeah, I love these colors for a Black Dragon 2 Edrigi. I like swampy greens, and so 9175 swamp green is a natural choice for me, but I also like purples in black, so I think these two colors really make an awesome Black Dragon. I think this is looking, see, now I'm excited. This is why I paint in sections, because I can look at it now, I can see how cool it's going to be when it's done, and it gets me excited and it keeps me going. So yeah, totally. Yeah, the scale highlights are going to get a little tighter up here, like I did down here. So I'll go in and essentially do an edge highlighting with layering probably. But yeah, so I'm really excited now. I think he's looking really cool. Oh, so cool. All right. I think we're to the end of the stream. Justin, do we want to do our thing?
We can. I would like to point out what Grim said, though, because it made me audibly chuckle.
And taking time off is scary.
It's going to show us how to sculpt and green stuff with a 3-inch putty knife and wire brush.
Yes, he will. It's scary. All right. Yay! Here I am, looking disheveled because I've been painting intently for an hour and a half, so much so that I almost just didn't even notice how much time had passed.
All right. So
yay!
We got 96 people.
Oh, 4 short.
4 short, guys.
So close. That's a new record for us, though.
It is.
Thank you.
As a consolation, though, I think I'm going to do this since we tried. Everyone put in a good effort here. Everyone hung out. I think that the paints that we give away for Trogzul here, I'm going to give away 3 bundles of those paints. So,
all these?
Yes.
Okay, so you could paint T-Rock as a Black Dragon? Mm-hmm. Oh.
So you're going to give away 6...
Swamp Green, Pure Black, Stained Ivory, Runic Purple, Styx Purple, because I used that darker purple for a little bit of shadows, and Pure White.
So the Trogzul giveaways will get those paints right there. They're going to get a Drow Nipple Pink, and they're going to get a T-Rock. And then 3 additional people...
Ta-da!
3 additional people will get just the paints. And that's just because you guys tried really hard to get us to 100, and I thank you for that.
And we made a new record. Now we have a new record for the future. We have to beat 96.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, make sure you type in #free now.
Yeah, mini painting is an endurance sport sometimes, Blues. Yes, #free if you haven't. #free.
Quick.
He's going to hit the button. Hello, everybody new who I don't know yet. It's nice to see you all.
Oh, and actually...
and another sub.
That sub is 1 sub short of 30 subs for this stream.
Holy wow, you guys. That's
1 sub short.
insane. This was super exciting. I'm so glad that we hung out today.
Absolutely.
All right, are you going to hit the button?
Yes, I'm going to hit the button.
Up, here comes the button. Make sure you #freed. You weren't supposed to be here, Orion. Well, that's cool. We're glad you're here anyway. You helped us get a record number of people. Up, there we go.
Oh, and there's 30.
Yes.
Look at that.
There is 30. Yay! Oh, that's so fantastic. You guys are awesome.
All right, so...
All right, he's hitting the button. Oh, he got it. He already hit the button.
I am drawing them as we speak. All right, so we have 9 total winners.
9 people.
And
That's
six,
almost 10%.
6 of you are getting a T-Rock, a bunch of paints. 3 of you are just getting paints. I'm not going to tell you which is which, so it's going to be a surprise for you when you open it up. But the size of the box may give it away.
Yes, the size of the box. Unless he's really trolling you and he packs everything inside T-Rock's boxes.
Yeah. Oh.
Then that would be
yes.
really trolly.
It would be absolutely.
Yes. And Justin is just that trolly, but he's also at heart a nice guy.
Yes.
So
I meme a lot, though. I think that's what the kids are saying these days.
You meme a lot?
They call it memeing. We used to just call it joking back in the day, but I guess it's
yes,
memeing
it's memeing.
now. All right. So our winners are, first winner is Reaper Scott B.
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and announce it in chat at the same time. Second winner is RGE Wolf.
Yay!
Shotokami actually won.
Yay! I'm so happy.
JKG 95826. Jacob Jansen won.
Oh, there you go, Jacob.
That makes
sense. Paybacks for all those Twitch subs you gave away.
Anomaly 1974.
An anomaly one. Wow.
Greek Nakos.
Yay, Greek Nikos! Jacob.
Orion Noir. And
Yay, Orion!
Aramilo. Both of which
Sweet.
of those people are not following. You guys should always follow.
You guys should follow us on Twitch. That way you know when we go online, and then you can win
Completely
more
free.
things. Because Ed and Ron give away stuff for Reaper Live, too, and that's tomorrow night.
Yes, and you know what?
So follow us. If you are not following us on Twitch, make sure you follow us.
Since people like to bring in a bunch of people to watch this stuff, we might scale our giveaway tomorrow based on the number of people again.
Because it's working really well.
Why not? I mean, if you guys like free stuff and you want to come watch the show.
Yep. Reaper can find something to give away.
Yes. Oh,
Just
yes, we can.
Hope that we don't get desperate.
Even if we're giving away chairs at this point. Just something. Literally something. We have nothing left up here anymore. All right, guys. So
All right.
if you won...
Oh, yeah, you know what? I do expect to see some of these in the ReaperCon painting competition next year. Maybe I should sponsor a category. Maybe I should sponsor a dragon category for ReaperCon next year. Maybe I'll talk to somebody about that. That would be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I
So we'll
think
think
you
about
should.
that.
Mhm.
Yes, let's think about
We can
that.
promote it here.
We could. And since we're painting like dragons, and then some dragons. All right.
So if they won, do you want to go ahead and do the honors?
As far as if they won, they need to send their email and their name and...
They don't need to give me their email because it'll give me that
Oh,
when they
okay.
email me. But I need a valid shipping address,
Valid shipping address,
your Twitch handle,
your Twitch handle,
and that's it.
and that's it. And you send it to...
reaperlive@reapermini.com. I'll type it in chat right now.
Shotokami, it's great meeting you. You're welcome. I love teaching. That's why I'm here. That's why I do my Patreon, too.
reaperlive@reapermini.com. And actually, if you happen to watch this later on YouTube, it's also in the description below.
Oh,
Just so
yeah.
people-
That's true.
I always put it in the bottom.
He will put it in the infos. The infos that nobody otherwise reads. We
Yeah,
all know
that
we
too.
don't. Even I am bad about that when I watch a YouTube video.
And the 6 people that receive a T-Rock, I will then, save those names, and when we get them in,
Yeah.
I
Because
will
we need to
reach-
send them dragons. Dances with dragons.
I will reach back out.
Yes. You are welcome, everybody. We enjoy hanging out with you every week.
Yes, we do.
Have an excellent day. And this is Anne with Reaper ToolBox Live. And we are signing off.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.